I mean, can you
you know?
imagine like our kids doing something like that? Like I would be
I
livid.
would
I
die.
would be livid. I'll be like, what do you
Like
mean? You're
Soraya
moving four
leaving with
hours?
our grandkids?
You're
What are you
moving four
talking
hours
about?
away for this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
My gosh,
who
that
is
sounds
this
bad.
guy? You know what I
And you
mean?
guys are
Like,
not even married. You guys aren't even,
yeah. And you
yeah.
only been dating 6, eight
It was like 8 months.
months. Like, are you
Yeah.
crazy? You know,
You're
like
psycho.
I wouldn't accept it. I would go
What was I
insane.
thinking?
Yeah. What
What
you
was I thinking?
this? You was thinking about this?
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Faith, Family, and Laundry. I am so glad that you are here. Today is a very, very special episode because I have my amazing husband present. This is going to be for adults only episode. So before I even say anything else, it is rated R. So if your kids are around, please make sure that they're not, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my husband, Mr. Adorno.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you
Word.
for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here. This is the creator, guys, of this entire podcast. I mean, he did an amazing job. Look how he hooked up the roses, the little balloon, the liquor. You trying to get lucky tonight or what?
For sure.
Let's get right into the sexiness, okay? We're going to tell you exactly how we went from dating to diapers to married life, exclusively on Faith, Family, and Laundry. Let's start off with how did we meet? Okay, because this is a question that I feel like you and I do not match every time we tell the story on how we met. So I'm going to let you take over.
You on my side?
I want your side because I feel like every time that I do my side, you're like, nah, that didn't happen like that. So
Okay.
go ahead.
So, first off, I manifested you. That's
Mm,
first. But how it started was I got in contact with an old friend from back in New York. And as time progressed, I started to see you on my media, on my social media. So I started to see you on her page. I'll kind of creep through your page a little bit here and there. And then I reached out. I always send her messages, like, hey, one day I'm going to marry her. One day she's going to be
were
mine.
you like for real, or were you just being like, were you just caking? Were you just like,
No, no,
ah,
this is
whatever?
real. This is real.
Mm.
So, and she could vouch for this. So I'll reach out to her and, just kind of, yo, what's up with your friend? You got to put the word in. I'm not too far away, so eventually, I guess she put the word in, right?
Okay, let me say my version because okay, all I know is, and I'm gonna stick 10 toes down with my story. All right, this man was all up in my DMs, and he was talking to himself. One day, I went to Kirsty's house, and I was going through not a relationship. It was like a situationship that I had completely ended, and I remember, don't judge me, but back then I used to smoke. So like I was smoking at our house and I was talking about how, men ain't shit and like that's it. I'm just gonna be alone forever. And then I don't know, she had posted a picture of us on her story and she was laying there. She was like, this guy always want to comment on you and da da da. And I was like, who? And she's like, nobody. I'm like, who? And she's like, you're not
Nobody.
gonna like
I'm
him.
definitely somebody.
Definitely somebody, but when what she meant was you're not gonna like him. So I'm not even gonna spend like time on it. And I don't know what it was, but I was like, Kirsty, just show me. Like, I don't know, maybe it was God, you know? But she had showed me and I was like, oh, he actually messaged me. Like he actually DM'd me. She's like, he been DMing you. And I'm like, I'm gonna accept it. And then I had added you
This is
back.
true.
And I had accepted it. I had added you back. And then the rest was history. So for those that don't know us, he I lived in Fort Lauderdale at that time, and he lived closer to Tampa. So that's about 4 hour drive. So for the first year of our relationship, we were long distance.
Was it a full year?
Nah, I'm exaggerating. So it
It
wasn't a
was
whole year.
definitely like
It was like,
6 months.
nah, chill. It was not no
No?
6 months, tampoco. It was like eight. it
Yeah, for real.
was only like 8 months. But we'll get into that as to why, how we even got into living with each other. But let's get into what was your very first impression of me. Now, we did speak for a whole month on FaceTime before actually meeting with each other. Guys, I did not want anything serious with this man. I was like, long distance is absolutely not for me. Like, I
Wow,
want
the
to
truth comes
live
out.
enough. Listen, I want to live under my man's skin, okay? There's no way that long distance, I just never believed in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never believed in it. But you were so persistent, bro. You were so persistent. You were like, absolutely, I'm not taking no for an answer. So we would talk for like hours and hours because, man, you could talk.
Talk.
You could talk for real. And we never had anything to not talk about. Like, we always had something to talk about. So after a whole month of like finally talking, you were like, all right, I'm booking a hotel or something like that on the beach. It was Hollywood Beach, actually. And he was like, I'm gonna come down and see you. And I was like, oh, you're not. And you're like, bet. And you had booked it like that same night. So I was extremely nervous because I don't get nervous, but it was nerve wracking because we basically had a whole month relationship over the phone. And then now we're meeting each other in person. So what was your very first impression of me? Because one thing is to see each other over FaceTime, right? But another is like, oh, like in person. Like,
Yeah.
tell me.
Honestly, I just loved your humor. I loved your personality. So when I did meet you in person, I was in love. Like
Shut
I
up.
was. I think your beauty mixed with your personality, it was magic. I was like, damn, this is the woman for me.
Oh,
So I was just grateful. You
were
know,
you?
yeah. I think I was honestly, um, I was in love.
You
I
liar.
swear, I was in
You
love.
so
I
liar.
think you're beautiful. The way you carried yourself, your humor, your personality. You were very strong. You had a
True.
lot of things going for yourself at that time. Which I mean, you always have. You pushed me to new limits, but at that time, I definitely seen a lot of potential in you, and it was something that motivated me to pursue you.
So I was
So
definitely your type.
uh,
100%. Okay,
you was
well,
foreign.
I'm definitely for it.
Yeah,
Period.
you was
He's
foreign.
my husband's Puerto Rican, y'all. He swears he's foreign, but he's like not. Okay.
Definitely foreign.
You're definitely not. So I'll be honest.
Shout out to my Boricuas, man.
Whatever. Okay, so I'll be
New
honest.
Yorkers.
You're Aggie. You had to slide that in there. Okay, so a first impression of you. I was like, oh, he's so cute. Mind you, I'm 2.5 years older than you. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's such a baby. He's such a baby. I thought you were so cute. But you know this because I've told you this before. You were not my typical like type. Like not at all. But it wasn't until like we just talked all the time on the phone, your ambition, your strive. Like I remember you telling me I will be a millionaire. Like I will be a multimillionaire. And you were like, I will not stop until I get there. Like you're so ambitious and like you're hardworking. And I loved that about you because I'm like that. So I'm like, oh, this is something new. This is something different. And then when I saw you in person, I'm like, oh, Dito, he looked like a baby. You did. You look like a baby, baby. You don't look like a baby
I was
now, but
definitely skinnier for
you was
sure.
you were like 60 pounds skin.
For sure. Love will do that to you,
Yeah.
y'all.
So you definitely looked, you looked really young. You looked your age. Because at the time I think you were 24. And you were like
Probably.
24. Yeah, like
Yeah.
24. So you definitely looked the part. But the more that we started hanging out, the more that we like, you know, talked, I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I remember we didn't want to leave. I remember we were sitting on the beach,
Yeah.
and we was just sitting on the bench, just watching everybody roll by on the
Yeah.
rollerblades. I was like,
We was
man,
people
I
watching.
these people watching. That's my thing right there. I love the people watch.
Though that's mad weird. I learned that from you. Like you were like, let's sit down and let's just stare. And I'm like, stare at what? And you're like,
Yeah.
nah, look at that guy right there. And look at that girl. And I'm like, what the heck is he
Yeah, I
doing?
didn't want to leave. Was I with Sable?
Mm-hmm, mm-mm,
No, no,
mm-mm.
no. She was back. Okay.
Sable's our dog.
Sable's my dog,
Oh,
German Shepherd.
I miss her. So okay. So what do you think was the hardest part about wanting someone you couldn't see whenever you wanted to? Because mind you, because we were long distance, we would see each other in the beginning, we would see each other every 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like we would see each other maybe once a month until I was like, Aaron, this isn't working out. I'm like, we need to see each other every 2 weeks. And you were like, bet, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
So
I would
you,
drive down. You would fly up.
yeah, I was not doing that drive.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I'm
I
bougie.
would pack my German Shepherd, y'all, in a two-door coupe. She's in the back. She was 85 pounds. Pack everything up. I was out. And I'll do this on Fridays, right?
Mm-hmm.
After work, six
Because at
o'clock.
that, well, you were working at you know where.
Yeah.
And yeah, you definitely got off at like 6, sometimes 7, and then you would make that troopy
Even I
drive.
remember times I'll get to your house at 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
Stop 9 o'clock ish. That's what love would do.
That's what I would do there.
Yeah.
So when we couldn't see each other, do you think that that was like what would you say when we would go the distance, right? Do you think it made us more attracted to each other? Like do you think that the intensity of like being with each other was more like euphoric?
I would say so. I think that sometimes you need that time away from each other. Obviously not in the beginning. It was pretty rough to be apart, but I think that it definitely intensified, feelings and allowed us to really connect with each other. Sometimes I feel like when you meet somebody in the beginning, you get so much of each other, it tends to push you apart. And I feel like with us, because we didn't have access to each other so much, it kind of allowed us to really get to know each other
Hmm.
from the inside and then kind of,
Literally.
yeah, and then kind of go from there, you know.
I agree. I definitely agree that it was frustrating for me because I'm like such a like I want to be all up on you type of person. So it was a little bit more frustrating for me. But the excitement, the adrenaline of like I haven't seen my man in 2 weeks. Like, oh, I get to see him. Like that was like dope. It was like dopamine for me.
It's pretty wild though. Now that if you think about it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without seeing each other, it's pretty crazy.
That's very
Yeah,
crazy.
but I mean, although we'll talk all day and in the
Yeah.
nighttime, hour, 2, 3 hours, but being without each other for 2, 3 weeks,
That was
I can't
hard.
imagine that now.
No, I can't imagine.
That's
No
crazy.
way.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
pretty wild.
Like that's insane. You would not have a wife anymore.
Yeah, I
Period.
believe it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so talking about us being long distance, okay? We're gonna get a little bit deeper here. What went through your mind knowing that I had a child?
Honestly, and if our friend is watching this, she could call me out. I honestly told her many times I was ready. I felt like I was in a position financially. I was in a mental good headspace. Being that I moved out to Florida, I was living by myself. I spent a lot of time alone. I felt like I needed that family. And obviously, I wasn't searching for a woman with a child, right? That's not something I was looking for, but I think that God sends certain people in your life, for a reason. And I felt like the way things worked out for us, reconnecting with an old friend through another friend, and just kind of the way the pieces was all played, I felt like maybe not at the moment, but now looking back, it was my calling. It was something that I was meant to do, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't discourage me. I seen you as, in fact, actually, that may have prepped me that may have led me more so closer to you, because I was able
Really?
to see how you was raising your son, you know, our son, right? But at the time, how you was raising him, how you handled certain stressful situations, it kind of allowed me to, you know, put myself in those shoes, if that makes sense, right?
Hmm.
I felt like a lot. My biggest fear was having children, right? And
I
and
remember you
and
telling me
yeah,
that.
because you know people change, and when you have kids with somebody, they change, right?
Hmm.
But the fact of how you dealt with your situation and how you overcame those obstacles, and you was able to still come out on top, and still defeat the odds, it kind of made me respect you a lot more. And I was like, okay, this is what I got to look forward to. It
Was
made
a
me feel a
part of
lot
you
more comfortable.
scared?
uh I wouldn't say scared, just more so I just didn't know what to expect. I don't think it really hit me until the conversation of moving in together, and like
Mm.
all that started to come into play, where I was like, okay, I'm not just dating a woman with a child. Now it's like I have to step up. Now I have
So the
to.
pressure. Did
Yeah, I
you feel
felt that
pressure?
pressure. Yeah, and it was tough. It was tough
Yeah.
to being single, being a bachelor, getting up, doing
Yeah.
what I want to do when I want to do it, to now, having a woman that I'm dating. Well, at that, I mean, it was much more serious than
Right.
dating, right? But now it's like, okay, I don't only have a relationship with you, now I have a relationship with him.
Right.
So it was a lot of pressure, you know.
Definitely.
It was new,
Definitely.
but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. I could for sure. I think that I sensed it, especially when, because let's be honest, in the very beginning we did have conversations, and I remember, we were still dating at the time, but I remember that you were like, you know, because you were like falling for me or whatever, you were like, I think I'm moving. I think I'm moving to Fort Lauderdale. I think I'm moving to Fort Lauderdale because, mind you, I just bought my townhome like the year prior.
Yeah,
Like I literally had just bought my very first townhome. I was so excited. I loved my home. My family, my friends, everybody, is out there. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna get up and move my entire life for a man. Are you psycho? Like,
pretty
and you were,
crazy.
yeah. And then you were like, yeah, I think I'm gonna move out there, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until you were getting into the field of your new job that you saw an opportunity for like your career. So I remember that you had flipped the script and you were like, okay, I have this really good opportunity, this really good job that I want to take. I think that moving to Fort Lauderdale is off the books. Y'all, when I tell you, I flipped. I'm like, what are you? What are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? Like we've been for a lot of people, 3-4 months is not a long time, but for a single woman with a kid, like 3 to 4 months of my life investing in you and like introducing you to my child and my family, my home and everything, that's a lot
Yeah,
of time, for others, sure, that's, oh my God, that's such a little bit of time. But for me, it was, nah, I spent time in this. So it got to the point where I was now like, okay, I don't know what it is, but I see a future here. So God, what are you telling me? And like I had prayed on it. I'm like, is it maybe my turn to leave and start a new life somewhere else? And I had to
honestly,
like, go back and forth with myself with that.
in that moment, to be honest, I was being selfish because, like you said,
Wait a minute. This is the first time I'm hearing this.
yeah. In that moment, I was being selfish because I seen a great opportunity for my career, and I seen a lot of things happening. So it was kind of you know, like I have to take this opportunity. This is really what I've been pushing for and striving for, and I got this chance. I had to take it. And to be honest, you're crazy. So
Crazy in love with you,
yeah,
baby.
like I want to say, oh, like for you to take a risk on me and leave everything, and with your son, with you, just bought a house, you was working, had a great job at the time, and making good money. You had a lot
I
of
really
things
was. It was the
going
most
for
I've ever
you.
made. Yeah.
Yeah, like you had a lot going for you to just drop everything and leave. For me, like it's pretty
For
crazy,
you, babe.
you
For
know?
you.
So like that's why honestly I respect you so much, and it really gave me more of a motivation where I can't mess up, I gotta really put my shoes on and put my backpack on and, really be who I need to be,
Yeah.
because I can't fail you,
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, that's a lot,
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate that.
Well, that's why I'm married to you. That's why you're Mrs.
Period.
Adorno. Yeah.
Period.
But
I
it's
love
pretty it's
that.
pretty crazy because for a woman to do that is insane. Leave. I mean, now you didn't only have yourself, but you had your son too, which is makes it even more pressure.
Yeah.
And then you had your house, and then all the other things, your family. You don't have no family out here. I don't have no family out here. Then you move to the country. You move to
With
the
the
with the
cows.
cows and the
Yeah, he
boonies
had
and
me living at Freddy Krueger's neighborhood. It was like
yeah,
nothing but like trees, no light, cows
yeah,
everywhere, and just no house for like miles and miles away. I would not, if I left my charger
yeah,
in the car, my phone was about to be dead. I was not going outside.
yeah.
Like,
Can I just talk about that for a second?
yes,
Like
please.
coming from the Bronx, New York, from the city, from being able to walk down the street, go to the store,
Mhm.
get me a bacon, egg, and cheese, a chopped cheese, having a grocery cart, walking to Bravos up the street, doing grocery shopping, to living on 27 acres with cows and bats and coyotes and just the pitch black, like
Yep,
that's pretty wild,
that's very
and
wild.
you obviously coming from the city life, coming from Fort Lauderdale,
Yep.
I can't speak on that much, but I'm sure it was more in relation to
It's just so
New York.
fast paced down south that coming out here, I was like, duh. Like, no offense to anybody that lives out here. It's just very different. And it's only a 4 hour difference, right? And it's a huge
It's a huge
difference in
difference, it
regards
is.
to like living wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a huge
It's a huge
adjustment.
change.
And I remember having to literally sell everything in the townhome, having to find the townhome to be rented. I was
Yeah.
stressing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I don't have this rented? And then at one point, I even was like, should I sell? And then I remember my dad was like, don't you dare sell that house. And I'll always be 100% honest with you guys. But my dad and my dad and my mom, they were not on board with me leaving. They were pissed. They were pissed. They were like, "How could you take Jaden away from us?" Like they were so
Mm-hmm.
upset. Not even not upset with you more so because they loved you. They truly did, but they were upset with me. Like and upset with why are you taking Jaden away from his family?
I mean, can you
You know?
imagine like our kids doing something like that? Like I would be
I
livid.
would
I
die.
would be livid. I'd be like, "What do you
Like
mean? You're
Soraya
moving four
leaving with
hours?
our grandkids?
You're
What are
moving
you
four
talking
hours
about?
away for this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
My gosh,
who
that
is
sounds
this
bad.
guy? You know what I
And you
mean?
guys are
Like,
not even married. You guys aren't even
yeah. And you
yeah.
only been dating 6, eight
It was like 8
months.
months,
Like, are you
yeah.
crazy?
You're
Like,
psycho.
I wouldn't accept it. I would go
What was I
insane.
thinking?
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
This. You was thinking about this.
I was thinking about
That's crazy.
listen, this is why for our wedding
True
day,
love exists, y'all.
listen, this is why on our wedding day we picked that song
Yeah.
from Teddy Swims because I kid you
How's it
not,
go again?
looks like we made it. Look how
Oh
far
yeah,
we
yeah.
come. Yeah, that one. I just remember everybody, even like my mom's sisters, my aunt, they were all like, "Are you sure? Like, are you, even your aunt?" And I love my titi, but even your aunt was like, I don't think you should move. I think he should move." Like straight up, she was like, "I love my nephew. I
Oh,
will
y'all was
always
talking
like,
at the time
yeah."
before you moved.
Before I moved in,
Before you
they
moved
love
in?
me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Cause we visited New
Yes.
York. Yeah.
And you
You
know
know
what
what's
she also
crazy?
said?
Go ahead.
Well,
What?
nah, because I want to hear what you got to
You know
say.
what's crazy? Like, I was actually surprised. me as a kid or just in general growing up, I was always, and I feel like everybody could probably relate, like afraid. Like you always, judgment, right?
Of
Like you want to
course.
make your mom proud, make your
Of
dad
course.
proud. I was actually so surprised that like everybody supported me. I think that's what gave me more of the motivation to like accept everything. And like obviously you had a lot more to lose on your
That's
end,
right.
right? But even still, like in my end, it was still a choice, right? Like I
Right.
still had that choice to accept it and say, yeah, come on, let's move in together and let me be a dad and
Well,
own up to this.
let's be honest, I put the pressure.
You did.
I put the pressure. I was like, look, and moms, single moms out there, okay, love is out there for you. So please don't give up. Love is out there for you. You're going to find a wonderful man. But I do have to let you know one thing because I don't want to get off track. But the only way that I found myself a good man was I had to be a good woman. Okay. I was
So true.
not a good woman before. I did not love myself. I did not value myself. I did not see my worth. I didn't have any of those things. I did not have ambition. I did not have any of those things, which is what led me to abusive relationships. It led me to relationships that had absolutely no weight. Everything was toxic. And so once I became a better version of myself, you start attracting
Oh yeah. Can,
better,
can I talk on that for a second?
Yeah,
I think, truthfully speaking, if you weren't, if you didn't have everything going for yourself, probably would have never even looked
looked
at you
my
that way.
way. So
Like,
why? Why would you?
and obviously, at that time you owned a house. I didn't own a house, but I was on a mental state of independence and
Yeah,
of man, handling his responsibilities and I was at a level where I was like, okay, even though I was young and 24, I was on my own since 18.
right.
I worked hard. I developed great assets and put myself in a great position where I felt like I was able to absorb and handle all that responsibility.
Right,
So I needed a woman, not a girl, a woman.
right.
And I think if you didn't have those qualities, I would have never looked your way.
Of
So I do
course.
think it's very important as a woman to have all those qualities and respect yourself and know how to be a woman and be submissive and know
Absolutely.
how to take care of a household. I mean, truthfully speaking, having a stay at home mom was always my plan. Like what?
Oh, hell no.
I
We gonna
just
get into
I
that.
just
We
I
gonna get
just
into
I just
that.
mean like I just mean okay, now talk about it yet?
we will, but
No, I just mean like, having my kids and like I always said that like I want my kids home and being safe and not have to worry about that. I wanted to always put myself. I mean, let's be honest, it's 2026,
hmm
25, 24. Like things are expensive. I knew as a young man I had to get my stuff together. I had to make sacrifices to put myself in a good position to be able to sustain everything. Worst thing I want to do is I'm working, you working, and our kids is getting raised and daycare. Not that there's anything wrong with it,
Right.
but we gotta make those decisions and think later down the road. To say
Yeah.
where do I want to be in 5 years. But me, I could get all
Yeah,
motivational
you
and
can go off track all day,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
No,
So
I get you. I know exactly what you mean. But going back to like, with speaking to your family and stuff like that, not everybody was supportive. At least on my side, nobody was
yeah.
supportive. And I could be 100% understanding as to why. We have daughters now. And if my daughter were to come to me that has a son already and she has built her entire life from scratch, like, I mean, I've watched her suffer and build her entire life from scratch to now say, up, goodbye. I'm going to go live with a man that God knows if it's going to work out or not. We're not married, none of that. I would be like, what in the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? And so, like, I understood that, but listen, God knows the plans, and I feel like I knew that you were a diamond in a rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt it in my heart where I was like, okay, this is a diamond. He just needs to be polished. Once this man
Hmm.
is polished, yo, I got, because there's
That's a
some
bar,
people,
y'all.
that's a whole bar, because some people will pick
That was
something
good.
up, right? They'll pick up something and it'll be so dirty that they'll be like, ah, and drop it back down.
Mm.
But then there's other people that will pick it up and they're like, let me clean it real quick. Let me see what it is. And then you
Mm.
clean it and you find a fucking enormous, like,
That was pretty
diamond. And
good.
it's like,
What do y'all do?
damn, I won.
That
I
was pretty
won.
good.
And I saw that. Like, I saw it. Like, I saw everything that I was like, ugh, I have a feeling about this man. And you know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I took that risk.
It
And
takes
within,
behind every strong man is a strong woman.
period,
Yeah.
period, I truly, truly believe that. Now,
Agree.
if I would have met you, and this is being, I'll always speak the truth and I'll always be honest. If I would have met you years prior, you and I would have not worked out.
Agreed.
Absolutely not. It would have, I was not well mentally. I was not well financially. I was not well physically. I really truly think that you have to be your most powerful at your most highest level to really find the love that you are looking for. And
Agreed.
for one, that love is within yourself. Okay. You have to love yourself first, because then you'll literally look for it in everybody else. And that's just not, it'll never work out like that. And I think that that is how this relationship ended up working so well. Now, mind you, we still have ups and downs. I don't want people to think that we got our shit together, because we don't.
Oh yeah, we're
You know,
not
we
perfect at
don't. We
all,
still figuring it out.
for sure.
Like, literally, we are still figuring it out. You know, but I feel like as long as you have two people that can really put in the work, I feel like anything can truly be possible. You know what I mean?
I agree. I
And
agree.
so with that, okay, I move in literally in July. I move in the end of July of what, 2021 or 2022? 2022. I move in July of 2022 and I find out that I am pregnant in November
Oh boy.
of 2022. And
uh,
I'm like, what is going on? For one, guys, I could not find a job to save my life.
yeah.
Okay. I'll be 100% honest with you. I went from making $80,000, $75,000, sorry, $75,000. This is 5 years ago. As a single woman with one kid, and my mortgage was like very low, I was banking. I was straight. Actually, that was after. Hold on, let me rewind a little bit. Because when I had first met you, it was during the summer, and I was actually working my second job because I had not switched over to this new job yet. I was still working at my old job,
Yeah.
and I was not making enough money to be able to pay all of my bills. And so I took a second job as a bottle girl service, like, bottle girls. And I would do that Friday and Saturday nights. And that's how I was able to literally make extra money. So I wanted to ask you live on camera, when you met me, I was working this bartender slash bottle girl service job. And you had told me, like, you actually made me miss
Oh yeah, I
some
was like, no, no,
gigs.
no, 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 no. I was like, if this is gonna work, we ain't doing none of that. That ain't happening. We ain't doing none of that. It's done. And I think I motivated you to,
You did. You
you
had
know.
you had to play.
But I get it. You got to do what you
You
got to do, right?
motivated
But
me to do it faster, because truthfully, guys, I did not enjoy that job at all. My mom would cry. Like, she would see me in my outfits, mind you, it's fishnets.
and can't let's say it though for the people. There's nothing wrong with that,
No,
Like
there's
you
nothing.
got to do
No,
what you got
no.
to do, But
Right.
I
Just
I don't want my
personally,
woman getting home at 2, 3 o'clock in the
I
morning.
was getting home by like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's not
yeah,
safe.
yeah, yeah. Because it's
Yeah,
it's a club. It's a club. You know,
and it was a gay club.
it was a gay club, so
Yeah,
you felt better because it was a gay
yeah, you're
club.
not out there,
Right, right. It
like
was a gay
it's a
club.
gay club.
So,
But at
and
the
that's
end of
what
the
made
day,
me feel a little bit better too. But I still dealt with drunk people and drunk women that are lesbians. So,
Yeah.
it still felt the same, but I do I do remember that you were like, why don't you just go apply to other jobs? Because I was content with my other job because of the hours. It worked with Jaden's
And
schedule.
you had your bachelor's at the time, or
Was graduating in December.
okay?
So you were like, why don't you just start looking around? And I had told you, I'm like, no, I haven't graduated yet. And you were like, so you're gonna get it. So just put that I remember you telling me, you were like, so you're gonna get it. Just put it on your resume that you do have it. And so I did. I put it on my resume that I already have my bachelor's degree, and I just started applying on Indeed. And that's when I had got that interview to University Dodge, and that's when I was making the 75,000 a year, and I felt so good. I was banking. And so getting back to what I was saying, I cannot find a job to save my life. And if I did, it was 35,000 a year. And that was like a huge shocker for me because moving out here, that's like normal. Like 35 to 50,000 is like the most that people make a year in what I was looking for, like which was human resources. And I'm like, "What?" And that made me depressed because
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't find a job, and coming out here, you actually gave me the idea of putting Jaden in a Christian school. You were like, I went to a Catholic school all my life. My grandmother, she saved up for me to get the best education that I could. Why don't you put Jaden in like a Christian school? And I was like, oh, okay. And then you were like, if you need the money or whatever to pay for it, I'll pay for it. And I was like, okay. And I remember the first payment was due and I had yet to find a job. And you were like, okay, well, before you guys moved in, all the bills were already like being paid. All you guys did was just move in, nothing changes. So I was like, so I'm not paying 50/50 rent. And you were like, no. Like you giggled. You were like, no, I got all the bills. Like you just worry about your car payment because I had a car payment. And then Jaden's school. Like just worry about those two things and then I'll take care of everything else. And I was like,
Mm,
bet. Bet. Take
honestly,
care of me.
I feel like that was God, like I was in a good situation, with my living situation, Joan, Kent, they helped me out a
Hmm.
lot, Mike. So, I mean, I was kind of just paying it forward,
Yeah.
like why stress about you having to figure things out when I could
Right, right,
just
right.
hold it down, So
Exactly.
I feel
So
like
then
that
I
was,
think that I had landed the job finally with Johnson and Johnson, which amazing place to work at. It was 2 days at home that I would work from home and then 3 days working there. I was making $25 an hour. I was like, bet, I'll take it. I'll take it. And then literally, I think 2 to 3 weeks after getting hired, boom, we find out I'm pregnant
yeah.
with
Do you
Soraya.
remember when you told me? Like I laughed for like 10 minutes.
Yo,
Like I was literally, we was on the bathroom.
yo, because
Wait,
you want to
wait.
know what happened? I was feeling sick. I was feeling sick. Mind you, I was on birth control.
Yeah, I could. I remember. Actually, I remember at work. I can't remember who told me, but it was like the girl's moving in. It's like I'll give you 3 months. She's gonna be pregnant. And
They
I was like,
jinxed us.
nah,
They jinxed
no
us.
way. But obviously,
They jinxed us.
I was just like, F it, to be honest.
No, we were
Yeah,
going through it. We were going through it.
yeah, you're right. It
We
wasn't
were
easy. It
going
was
through
tough.
it.
It was tough. It was hard.
We sat in the bathroom in the tiny bathroom because we lived in a 2-1. So Jaden had his own room, but we had one little bathroom. The house was 900 square foot. It was tiny, super tiny. And we're like, what do we do? Like, I had just found this job. You were now 100% commission. So you were making decent money, but you weren't at the level that we are now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So like
I
now
was making
bringing
great
in,
money.
you were making
I was making
you
great
were making
money.
great money, but we just weren't prepared for that.
Oh, 100%.
Like, we were not
100%.
prepared for that.
Mentally, yeah, things weren't,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I was still, and not for nothing, I was still on the fence if I wanted to live out there. I was missing my family.
Yeah.
I was depressed. I'm out here by myself. I have no friends. I was like, oh. And then once I got pregnant with Soraya, I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. That's just me being brutally honest. I was like, I'm
It's crazy
stuck.
because throughout the journey, I feel like this is literally God's plan. We've accomplished so much in such little time that it's like there's no other way but God.
Hmm.
God has guided us. He's brought us to where we are. I mean, we've just accomplished so many different things in such little time that people take 10, 15, 20 years to be where we are, you
Yeah.
know? And
Which is, I wanted to make sure that I commented on that. There was a lot of pressure on our relationship because we did not give each other enough time to simply date. For one, we
yeah,
started our relationship already being parents. We did. I was already a parent, and you were now entering being a parent to Jaden. So we never got like that full experience of like, let's travel the world and let's date, let's do none of that. We didn't give each other that, you know? And then we move into each other. So we didn't have the honeymoon phase of just enjoying, like,
yeah.
being in each other's
Well,
space, you know?
do you remember like when you used to come, obviously, do you
I
remember
think I see
do you
it.
remember when
We're so stupid.
do you remember when you used to come out? Like Jaden wouldn't come every single time. So we
Hmm.
like me and you, we would like have some flashing lights in the house. We would like turn the house to a
Into a
club. We start
club.
dancing. So let's
Into a
summarize
club.
this real quick, right? So we start off long distance. You're living in Fort Lauderdale. We're literally dating long distance. You plan to move in within 6 months. Now we're living together. You have a son. I go from single to being a dad. You know, next thing you know, you're pregnant. You know, we're trying to figure things out. What are we gonna do moving forward? Like all these crazy things are happening so fast. Now, now we're no longer just dating, right? Now I'm like, okay, I gotta step up and be a dad.
Mhm.
Fast forward, well, you get there, but long story short, you go ahead and tell us we're pregnant, and I'm laughing for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What? I mean, how did you feel? What was going on?
I wanted to punch you in the throat. I swear to God. Like, I'm like, I can't, mind you, for those that don't know my husband, when he feels like he doesn't know what to do about a certain situation, like if he feels awkward, if he feels a little nervous, what he does is he laughs. Okay? He can't control it. So that was you being nervous, and that was the first time that I got to experience that. We've only been together for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're still
You're
learning each
hysterical
other.
crying, and I'm over here just
I'm
dying laughing.
hysterical. I'm
I don't know why.
hysterical. And he's just laughing his ass off. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, did I make the biggest mistake of my life? Because you don't know what to think at that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm thinking history is repeating itself again. I'm going to be a single mom to two now. Da, da, da. I'm thinking these things because I don't know what's
And
to
at that
come.
moment, you're still debating if you want to move back. Like, are we
Correct.
breaking up?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah,
not
yeah.
happy where
Because
you
it was hard.
are?
It was
Like,
hard. It was
yeah, I
hard
could
at the
imagine.
beginning. Like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say it was toxic. I'm just gonna say I was really having a rough time
let's be honest, it
adjusting.
was toxic.
It was toxic.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's
It was
toxic.
toxic.
On
It
both
was
ends, I was
toxic.
even having self doubt. I'm like, what am I even doing? I'm young. Like, just so many different thoughts are going through my head. Like, I'm trying to be a dad here. Like,
You're
I mean,
right. You're right. It
just a
was
lot
toxic.
going
It was
on. You know, I'm
not
like, am I making
toxic.
the right
Like my
decision?
definition of toxic is completely different than your definition of toxic. But
Mm,
definitely it was not healthy at all. We
yeah.
were arguing a lot. We were not seeing eye to eye. You were not getting the stepdad thing situated well. It was
Guys, I
just
would be pissed. Like, she would ask me to pick him up from school, and I'm
yeah.
like that was an argument. You know,
Yeah,
like
it would
why
be
do
an
I have to
argument.
stop everything I'm doing? Like, it was bad. But you know, if you choose to date a woman with a kid, you gotta understand that you're part of that kid's life, and you have to be present, and you have to play that role because you're not just dating the woman. You're dating the
Mhm.
woman, the kid, and you're part of that family. So once you choose to date a woman with a kid, accept that immediately. And my problem was I didn't accept it right away. That
Yeah,
was my issue.
that was your
Yeah,
issue.
I
And
struggled with that.
just one thing. One thing is if the father is present, then of course things would be totally different.
Yeah.
But
I can't speak on that because that's not
right,
our situation. But
it's not.
for
But
those
with
who are in that situation, I can't speak on that. But what I can speak on is our situation.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if the dad isn't present, you are the dad. And
you
you
are
got to own
supposed to
it.
be the person that lifts some of that pressure off of the mom, because let's be honest, if you are dating a single mom, why are you not your job is to also take some of that stress away from her. If not, don't date her. I'm
Yeah.
telling you that right now.
You know what's crazy? Before I met you, I would always say I would never date a woman with a kid.
I know you used to tell me that.
I was like, I would never do that. Like, I never, at that time, I was very ignorant, right? But I was like, I don't know why guys would do that. Like, why would you date a woman with a kid? Like, I would just say all these crazy, very ignorant, right? Very young,
Very
very
ignorant,
ignorant,
baby. Very
but,
ignorant. Look at you. Look at
um,
you. The best
hey,
daddy.
everybody's ignorant sometimes, but we all learn, right? We
Yeah,
get
yeah,
better,
yeah, yeah.
and honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Hmm.
Like, I love my son. That's my best friend. We growing together. Like, God gave me a bonus son. And I'm so grateful for that. So he knew I wasn't gonna have any boys, so he was like,
Period.
"Here you go. Here's your boy." But
No, but like if you think about it, like I truthfully think that God placed, like, how amazing is it that God chose you to be the example, to be the leader, to just be the protector of this boy, you know? Like that's such a blessing, like that's such a honor
yeah,
to have,
it is.
So I feel like it's so important that this is just for moms that are single moms and the dad is not involved. I can only speak on just that. But if you do get involved with a woman that has a child and their father is not involved, please understand that you are now stepping in and helping her raise that child. So,
Agreed.
yes, pickups are important. You putting in the work for that child is important. Discipline is important. You teaching them values, teaching them about God, teaching them about how to treat women, teaching them just the values of being a man, like that is now your responsibility. So if you don't see yourself doing that, you need to let that person go, because at this point you're hurting that child, because now that child gets involved with
Agreed.
you and now they want to be a part of you, and it's like you're breaking their heart all over again.
Yeah,
Like one man already did that, now the second person, which would be you,
it's
doing that.
trauma.
It's trauma.
Yeah,
And that's why a lot of men now they grow up and they end up in jail. They end up doing things that they shouldn't be doing because they don't have a male figure in their
yeah,
life.
it's
And I feel
important
like it's so important to have that.
for
You know
sure.
what I mean? For sure.
100%.
All right, guys. I loved having this conversation with you. It was really like healing. It was really nice just to just to have conversations with you, period, because life with kids can be so hectic
Yeah, it's a
sometimes.
lot.
It's a lot. Like, I feel like we don't have enough us time. And I think that prioritizing that is like so healthy and it's like mandatory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to see if you had any advice for men, for one, on how to be a dad, and for two, how to be a stepdad.
So I don't ever say stepdad.
Well,
Like, in this,
no,
obviously,
he's
in this
not. He's not.
circumstance, like, we're
You're his father.
acknowledging that, but like, that's my son.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever refer to stepdad, or like, whenever I introduce him, whenever I'm talking about my family, I always say my son because he is
Yeah.
my son, right? Um, I think being a dad is one of the best things that could ever happen to you in life,
Hmm.
right? Like, material possessions and money and like all these experiences and vacations. I mean, you name it, whatever your desires are, there's no better feeling than being a dad. like having somebody who depends on you, relies on you, looks up to you as inspiration, sees you as, that superhero, right? Like you think about it, when we was a child, we looked at our parents as, like that superhero, and no matter what they're going through, we didn't really know what they was going through,
Yeah.
right? Like they look at us like that. Like I think being a dad is more than just a title. Like you have to earn that. It's
Yeah.
not given,
Right.
right? Like to be a dad, it takes you taking the weight on your back. It takes you being that provider, being that leader, being that guidance.
Mhm.
And obviously we've gotten very close to God and Jesus and our Christianity and just our faith in general. But what I've have learned recently is that we have to serve, God and love the church, and through that everything else will kind of flow,
Yeah.
so being a dad, in my opinion, is serving God and trying to be as close as you can to Jesus, and trying to be the best example that you can be,
Absolutely.
everything that's beyond this world, showing that, just showing those values, right? Showing those moral values, those virtues, right? Like um you know open a door for your woman, even though I don't do it all the time, right? But it's
You
things that I,
slacking because you used to
yeah,
be on
but it's
top
things
of
I think
that.
about, right? Whereas like I want to be that protector, I want to the woman in my life, protect them and guide them, and just be that stronghold, that
Right.
foundation. Could go on and on about it,
You definitely can.
but
I think that was perfect.
yeah.
I think that was perfect. It was a
I st-
perfect
I
example.
stop.
I feel like being a father is so necessary. I know that moms get all of the credit because moms do everything, and then we do this, and we're nurturers, and blah blah blah. And yes, I love it. But fathers are
Yeah.
equally as
I want to add
important.
one thing though, and this is something I'm learning. I'm learning from you. I'm learning from therapy. I'm learning from just
Yes,
just
we're
going through
we're pro
life,
therapy couple
for
here.
sure.
We love therapy. We need therapy, and
Need
we also need
therapy,
God.
for sure,
With God and therapy, yo, we're powerful.
for sure. I think as a dad, as a man in general, which I'm learning, but being emotionally vulnerable, right? Like us as men, we
Ooh,
always trying to hide our emotions, and I don't think it's conscious. I don't think it's intentional. I was actually having a session yesterday, and I was like, man, like, why can't I get deep? Why can't I just tap into that emotion? Is like it's something I literally have to be conscious of. I
mm,
have to consciously tap into my emotions, and why? I mean, it's just the way we've been programmed as men. We deal with so many different things. I always feel like, I gotta put everything on my back. I gotta be the foundation. I gotta be a leader. I gotta be the boss. I gotta be a dad. I gotta be a husband. Like, and it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry once in a blue, or say, hey, I'm just not feeling at
mhm.
100%. I'm saying that now, but I struggle with it.
You
Yeah, like
you
I'm
do,
saying that
baby.
right
You
now because
do.
we're here and we're just talking open, but like it's easier said than done.
Yeah,
Like I can feel like my world is crashing down and I'm still with a smile on my face, and I'm
yeah.
like,
Your
"Hey, you're
optimism is
good."
what made me fall in love with you the most. I mean,
Yeah.
you are one of no, you are the only person in my entire life that has always stayed positive. Your entire world can be crumbling and you'll still help somebody else in need out. Like you'll put everything to the side, you'll make them smile, you'll make them laugh. You stay positive. It's
I feel like this is the biggest blessing and the biggest curse, because
yeah.
it's like I take that negative. It's kind of like Wakanda, like Black
Yeah.
Panther. Like, yeah, like if you've seen the movie, like they taking all those punches and he's taking all those hits, and he has that suit where
Mhm.
it just absorb it, and he just push it back. Like I take all that negativity and I push it into positivity.
Yeah.
Like because there's always something to be grateful for. Like yeah, your house burned down, but you still got your life. Your skin is still in good condition. Like you could buy another house, you could get another house. Like there's always just, I think gratitude, in my opinion, is one of the biggest things. Like
Yeah.
you always have something to be grateful for. And right now, at this moment, somebody's dying, somebody's going through something. So I don't know how we talking about this, but yeah, I could go on and on about all of this
It's
stuff, but
beautiful. It's
you
beautiful.
gotta be grateful, man. So to answer your question, being a dad is being a leader, being a provider,
Mhm.
being an inspiration, and I do think, although you have to be emotional, you have to regulate those emotions, and you got to know
Yeah,
when it's time to be emotional, which is what I'm
absolutely.
learning.
I just wanted to make sure that you knew that you are doing an amazing job. And although there's stuff that you still have to work on, as there's stuff that I have to work on, I think that you have been one of the biggest blessings. I mean, I could not have asked for a better father for our children. I do want to say that when it comes to being parents, we do put our kids first, and we have to tweak it a little bit to where we come first. You
For
know,
sure.
we have to prioritize us, because there's no way that our kids can come before you and me.
Agreed.
In order to have the foundation of our home has to be God, me and you, our children.
Agreed.
And then everybody else needs to be outside of that circle, literally. And yes, we can help as much as we can, but at the end of the day, God is first. Your wife, your spouse, your husband comes second, and your children underneath. Because there's no way that your household can be at peace and strong unless the foundation is God, for one, and then making sure that you and I have the strongest bond. I mean, I think that the most beautiful, beautiful thing that you can give your children is having mom and dad love each other until it's disgusting
For
for them,
sure.
and I know that Jaden feels like that, because we are so affectionate in front of our kids that he's like, ill, guys, ill, so we're doing something right,
Yeah. For
you
sure.
know but I just wanted to say that.
Appreciate that. Thank
And
you.
we appreciate you, and we love you, and thank you for being a protector, a provider, and just being who you are.
For sure. Thank you.
Of course. So now we're gonna go into questions that our social media family has asked us. I couldn't fit all of them in, so I just chose a couple of them that I wanted to make sure that um, we answered. So the first question was, how do you handle arguments? Because I know you, Melanie. Okay, so I'm gonna answer this one, and then I'm gonna let you answer this one. How I handle arguments before therapy, because y'all know I'm gonna keep it 100 always. How I handled arguments before: one, if I heard something I didn't like, I would shut off completely. I would give him the silent treatment. I would not talk to him for days. I would give him the cold shoulder. I mean, the whole nine before therapy. And what a lot of people don't understand about that is you're literally killing your marriage when you do that. So, what I do now is I do not disregard my husband when I feel like I am getting to a point of extreme frustration. I tell him right now, I cannot have this conversation with you. I am not, I feel myself getting heated. Let's retouch this in like 30 minutes or an hour. So, right there, I'm setting expectations that we will be talking about this. I do not let 2, 3 days go by, because that's so unhealthy, guys. I will literally set that boundary of like, hey, we can touch back on this, but I need to cool off, because I, for example, need to cool off. And then we can touch back on this subject again. And sometimes I know that a lot of people are like, don't ever go to sleep mad. And I don't think that we go to sleep mad. It's just, hey, I need to sleep on this. Let's talk about this tomorrow. I love you. Have a good night. Let's talk about it tomorrow. It took a year and a half of God, of God in therapy for me to have arguments in a healthy way.
Yeah. That therapy works, guys. Like I not that I was against it, but I was never open to it until we had some things that kind of
Yeah.
forced us to kind of open up therapy. But it's healthy, y'all. So if you're not in therapy, whether it's individual therapy,
And you know what?
sometimes
That sounds like another special to
yeah,
make
yeah.
alone, for
Let's
sure.
get through these
Yeah,
questions.
let's get to that. But I want you to answer it. How do you get through like uncomfortable arguments, or whatnot?
I'm still learning.
We're both still learning.
Still,
We're both
I
still
don't have a
learning.
right answer for that. I'm gonna pass on that one, but I think that therapy works. You need a mediator in between
Yeah.
us sometimes, and it's not that we don't love each other. It's not that we're not gonna get through it. It's just sometimes you can't just go through it. You have to grow through it, and you need
Mm,
somebody to be there to see both sides.
yeah, yeah.
That's
But to
that's what I
answer,
think.
because you're being very humble about it, but to answer that question is Aaron is a very just passive person. So he'll apologize. He just does not want to argue at all. He just wants to,
Opposites attract,
yeah,
y'all.
opposites attract because he just does not want to fight. So if he sees me getting heated, he'll be like, okay, let's just not argue anymore. And for me, I'm like the opposite. I need to digest. I need to think about it before I respond because I can get extremely nasty and it's something that I do not like about myself, you know? And so to prevent me from being nasty, I'm like, I need some time. And you're like the opposite. You're like, no, no, no. I don't need time. I need to we need to fix it right now.
Yeah.
And that's where, honestly, it's not, we don't even argue about nothing. Where the argument becomes huge is you don't provide me the space that I need because he does not want us to be upset. Like he just wants to cuddle and just like be over it. And I'm like not over it. So I'm just like, no, back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I
that
don't like to
argument
argue at all.
becomes, yeah, the argument becomes so much bigger because of the lack of like just mutual understanding, you know?
Well, it's
So
never about the mayonnaise
it's
on the
never
counter.
about the mayonnaise on the counter. It's always something deeper. But that's like for another day. So to answer the question is guys, we're still learning to just get along and have disagreements. I will say that before it used to blow up and be bigger, like a year and a half ago, I would tell you that our arguments were not good. Not on his side, my side, because I'm a little cray cray. But correct me if I'm wrong. For the past year and a half, I really truly learned self control. And now I take a step back and I'm just like,
For sure.
yeah, I just need a break. I need to think. I need to cool off and we'll revisit this. And that's it. So would you agree? Would you agree that
I agree 100%. I think
okay.
you've come a long way.
Thank you.
I think we both come a long way, and I'm excited to see where we continue to go.
Yes. Our
But it may look
therapist our
good
therapist
here,
tried to
but
break up with us a little bit ago, like
yeah,
talking about
it was
like
like
I
unacceptable, not
and I'm
happening.
like, nah, nah, nah. What are you talking about? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? I'm like, nah,
Shout
nah,
out to
nah.
you if you watch this. We
Yes. Shout
appreciate
out
you.
to you, girl. We love
We
you.
love you.
She tried to break up with us. Like,
Should be
nah.
laughing at that right there. And real quick, just to touch on it briefly, it took us about 3, 4 therapists
Yeah,
to
to
get to
really,
this
yeah,
one.
to get to her.
Like we had one for like 2 weeks to a month. Actually,
Hmm.
you know what? Like the wife said, this is another episode.
That's another episode. Yeah,
So
that's another episode. We'll talk about that. I
yeah,
think that's really good because people
yeah,
need to know about that
agreed.
for sure. Okay, so second question was, were any of your kids planned? And I think we kind of answered that. So Jaden, no, was not planned at all. Soraya, no,
I planned
not
it.
at all. But I think he trapped me. Low key. Low key. I think he trapped
It's
me.
like she's the one. Things are going well. Kind of. It is what it is.
You definitely did. And then Amira was not okay. Amira was not planned, but she also was not prevented in any
Agreed.
way.
Yeah.
Because with Amira, I was on no type of birth control, no
Let's be
nothing.
honest. We in a good situation. Things were kind
Yeah.
of going
We had
good.
just bought
We just
the
bought the
house.
house. Like,
So we were like, if we have another kid, we got another bedroom,
and
we got
in fact,
another
my
one.
mom, she has Irish triplets. So I have siblings
Oh,
that's
God
Irish
bless her.
triplets. So my mom had my brother. 2 months later, she got pregnant with twins. I was like,
Thank God I didn't get pregnant with twins because then I'd have to.
yeah,
Oh
that would have been
no!
wild.
But no, none of the babies,
That would have been crazy.
none of them were planned, weren't prevented. Mira wasn't, you know. But honestly, my kids they're the biggest blessing
Oh
ever. They
yeah,
piss me off, but
thank you God.
they're my biggest blessings. Ugh, I love them so much. Okay, so third question was being a stay-at-home mom an idea you both made together?
Hmm.
I want to hear your thoughts on this, and then I'm gonna put my thoughts into it.
Honestly, I don't think we actually had a conversation about that. Did we? I just think that's the way things kind of
It
worked
kind
out.
of were okay. So then let me answer this.
Gracefully and thankfully, we're in a position where you can be a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you had to work 100%, I know you would go out there and
Right.
grind. But thank God that we're in a situation where you don't have to work. And I think we are grateful for that opportunity, and we really just maximize it. I
Right.
mean,
So what had happened was I was working at Johnson and Johnson. And so when I had gotten pregnant, they were super supportive because mind you, I had to tell them right away that
yeah.
I was pregnant. Like I got hired and I kid you not, 2 to 3 weeks later, I find out that I'm pregnant. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they're
Again,
gonna hate me. I'm gonna, work up until June, but I want to come back in October. And that was the plan. The plan was for me to take my 3 month leave and go back in October. I don't know what happened within those months, but you were like, can you not? Like, you have to go back to work. And like, low key, you were being manipulative about it because you were like, oh, but babe, like, are we really going to put her in a daycare? Like, da da da. And then
yeah, I didn't want to do that.
I was like, damn, like, because, guys, all I knew was daycare for Jaden. Like, I had Jaden in a daycare. I hated it, but that's what my head was programmed to do is you have to get back into the grind. You have to make money. So when I was in a position where you were like, okay, but you don't have to go though. You really don't have to. You could just stay. Like, huh? Like, what do you mean? Just stay with her. Like, protect her. Like, be her mom. And I was like, oh. And so that's literally how it went. I just became a stay at home
How
mom.
long? How long has it been now?
Soraya's gonna be 3. So since she's been born. So
And it was a little bit before too.
let me take a week to myself before the
And that
baby
was hard for
comes.
you. That
It
was
was
tough for you. You
extremely
was
hard for
grind. You
me.
was yeah. That was hard.
It was really hard.
It was
Mentally, it was extremely
physically too.
exhausting and
Yeah.
physically. Both of my pregnancies were, but
Yeah.
that's for another day.
For sure.
So, okay, last question, guys, before we get into the fun stuff. Um, I want to be a stay at home mom. My husband and I don't share any finances. Okay, so I didn't really understand what she asked.
Repeat it.
I want to be this is how she had wrote it. I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but me and my husband don't share finances. So I had asked her, I was like, what do you mean? She was like, how did you, as far as like finances wise, like how are you a stay-at-home mom? Like if you guys did everything like split split. So then I'm gonna answer this question. We had everything separated. Me and you had everything separated until having Soraya and then having this house. Once we bought this house, that's when he was like, "All right, we're going to get a joint account. I'm still going to keep my account since before even meeting each other. You're going to keep your account from before we even met because why close it? And then we're going to make an account together, which is our bills account and this and that." And then anything as far as money wise, I have my own credit card. So he has American Express, Chase, Capital One. You made me an authorized user on every single account. And then I have my own credit card. So it's linked to all of your accounts. But anything that I need as far as diapers or if I need clothes for myself, clothes for the babies, groceries, anything like that, I just swipe the card and it goes into the
Yeah.
same account.
I don't.
Guys,
I
it does not have to be so difficult. I don't know
yeah.
why a lot of people make it to where half and half, you send me money, you Zell me. It's
And it
like,
works. I mean, it
you
works.
know,
Like,
it's weird.
um, just to be transparent and real, I pay for everything. Like, she's a
Yeah.
stay at home mom, so like, I handle everything. Like, I make sure the
I'm like,
bills is good.
I don't know what
Yeah,
this
like,
costs.
and it depends. Like, some people aren't good with money. I'm good with
You're
money. Like,
extremely good. So am I though. So am
you
I.
are too, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, some guys aren't, and they're the
Right.
ones who work, and maybe
Right.
the mom, like, it depends.
Right.
Whoever's the best with money, whether they can save, they can invest. Like,
Yeah.
that's the person who should handle the money, and whatever works is different for everybody, you
Right.
know. But like, first off, if you're using your debit card for everything, you should probably transition to credit cards because you get a lot of points, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
benefits, but that's another topic.
That's another
But
topic.
I definitely think that whatever works for you, it works for you. But as a stay-at-home mom, you got enough stress on your plate. You're dealing with the kids. You're dealing with, I mean, cooking, the cleaning. I mean, you're dealing with the household. It's like you got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So if I could at least take finances off your plate,
Better take finances
yeah,
off
like
my
I mean,
plate.
exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's my responsibility as
All
a
I could
father.
say is, as far as, listen, I made it very very clear to my husband that if you want me to stay a stay at home mom, I will you will not deprive me of money. Now, thankfully for you, and you can vouch for me on this, I am extremely frugal.
100%.
Like, I am all about saving a dollar. I will coupon, I will this. I do not spend money on nothing that I don't need.
Agreed.
Like,
100%.
I'm very very I don't need much. So I'm really good with that type of stuff. Um but I did say if I want my nails done, my toes done, like, which you've never in your life like have told me I can't do none of those things. Um, I will say that out of respect, I do tell my husband like, "Hey, I went to Burlington or Ross or Macy's and I spent $100 on, like, you know, I don't know, kids' clothes, or we needed this," and he's just like, "Okay, cool." Like, just because he can't he you don't see all the time what I'm spending. Like, he doesn't check every single day, so it's like I don't want him to go into the account and be like, "Where did $500 come from?" You know? So out of respect, I do let my husband know like, "Hey, I spent this amount, I spent that amount." And like, he never clocks me. Like, he'll ask me, "Hey, like, what did you
Yeah.
spend on Amazon?" I'm like, "Oh, I got this." And he'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool."
And the
But,
reason I ask is
you know,
because obviously there's fraud. Like there's a lot of
right,
things that
right,
go
right.
on. So if I see, $10, $100 missing, like just coming out the com, like okay, where was this from? All right, it
Yeah,
was
for
you. All
sure.
right, cool. Like I don't
But
really
you
care.
don't clock me, and I feel
No,
like as a stay-at-home mom, please do not allow that. Like, if your husband wants you to be a stay-at-home mom because he wants his kids to be
yeah,
safe, you also deserve to have full access to financial stuff. That does not mean that you need to be 100% on his accounts and this and that. You guys can definitely have separate bank accounts. I'm pro to that.
I agree.
And yeah, I feel like
I think it works for us,
it
right? It
works. It
works for
definitely
us. So if
works.
that's something you want to hear more about, I mean, we're more than happy to share. But it works
Definitely.
for us.
For
So
sure. For sure. Okay. So now we're going to go into having some fun. Okay. For the last remainder of this episode, because I made a little would you rather
mm.
game.
Dun dun
Dun
dun.
dun dun dun
Do we have a
dun.
sound for that?
I don't know. Do we? Because we just got this little machine.
Let me put this
Hold on,
one.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me say it again. Would you rather game?
Huh?
Did it work?
I didn't put it. But
Press it.
which one? What did you say?
Like, do like a dun dun dun, or like
Okay,
a, I
hold
don't
on.
know. Do would you rather game? Babe, what the fuck
I
was
don't know.
that?
Let me put this one.
Still learning how to work this thing, y'all. Okay. So listen.
Wait, maybe this one. Nah, not that one. Forget it. It's
Forget it, forget it,
embarrassing.
forget it. Stop pressing buttons. Stop pressing buttons. All right. Would you rather game? Okay. Would you rather be teased all day or surprised at night?
A little spicy. Valentine's Day, y'all.
Happy Valentine's Day. This
I
is the
would
fun part.
say I would rather be teased all
You
day.
would rather be
Yeah,
teased all day?
that momentum, so that
Oh,
spicy.
okay.
That when it's like get home, it's like you know
Period.
for
Falling
sure.
off and shit. Would you rather lights on or off?
Lights on.
Hello.
Oh, dimmed, right? Like dimmed.
I need to be able to see you. All right. Stop having the nasty with the lights off. You
Yeah.
can't see nothing. What's the
I need
fun in
face
that?
expressions. Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Am I not? Do you like this? Do you not? Like
Exactly.
for
I need
sure,
to be able to see everything.
for sure,
I need to be able to connect with your eyeballs.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I love that. Or would you rather control the moment or give up control? I know this one.
Control the moment, for sure.
You listen,
Yeah,
y'all. A little fun story. I tried to be super kinky, right? And like
I already know this one.
I got like a whole bunch of stuff like at the sex store, right? And I put this man in handcuffs. I like blindfolded him. And in the middle of everything, he was like, skirt, you got to stop.
Done. It ain't happening. It ain't
Yo,
working.
it was like,
Yeah, it ain't working. I was like, nah.
he
Seen it
was
in the
like,
movies. I'm like,
you
nah.
need to take these blindfolds off. You need to take these handcuffs off me right now. I do not like this. I need to be in control. And
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
not
okay.
it.
And I actually love you being in control. I love that shit.
Not it
I
for
love
me.
you. Okay. So now we're going to end this episode with never have I ever. It works. Okay. Never have I ever liked two people at the same time. You first.
I have.
You like two people at the same time?
Wait. What if I do or don't? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say?
We should have got the bottle so we could take some shots.
Wait. So, tell me the rules
We
of
should get the
this.
bottle. We should get the bottle. And we should take one shot if we did do it or did not. Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I finished mine. It's all right. So just say if you did it or did not. Or
Right.
you know what? For you, if you did it, take a sip. If you didn't, then don't. Let's get him drunk.
If I did take a
If
sip,
you did, correct.
like two people at once?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Never have I ever liked two people at once.
Take a shot. If I did.
Yeah.
Of this wine.
Slut. Never have I ever kissed someone and not known their name. You've never kissed somebody and not know their name?
No.
I have. Next question. Never have I ever gone skinny dipping. Okay, cool. Me too.
Hmm.
Never have I ever made a sex tape and the person did not know about it. Babe, no way.
What?
You made a sex tape and they didn't know about it?
It was for me. Low key.
What a horror. Okay. Never have I ever woken up next to a stranger. Why'd you have to think about it? Just drink. You woke up next to a stranger? Gross. Gross. Disgusting. And last one. Never have I ever had revenge sex. Yo, we listen and we don't judge. All right? Look at you. That's crazy. That's crazy. You get to know who somebody is when you do episodes.
Hmm.
Mm, mm.
Hmm.
What y'all think we doing after this episode? We gonna fight? Or we gonna get nasty? What you
Have
think?
revenge sex.
Listen,
I
y'all.
gotta get revenge.
You're annoying. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. We had an absolute blast. My love, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving everybody advice on all of your wisdom. If you guys liked this video and if you guys find it relatable, please send it to somebody, like and share, subscribe. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this special Valentine's Day episode. And until next time.